The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised.
And then, stress reliever yung process. And then, like, afterwards, yung output mo, it's like a beautiful cake. And then you get to eat it. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I would see your stories and I'm like, I'm so proud of Shimei, but I'm craving. Listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Nook podcast. I am Kate Magbitang, your host for this episode's topic, food. I want to start this podcast first by mentioning that topics related to food and nutrition will be mentioned in this episode. And should these topics feel uneasy for you, please feel free to stop listening. Also, this podcast may give you some food cravings, so you have been warned. We all know what food is, and we all have our likes and dislikes, and which kinds of foods we want to eat during special occasions. Food also brings us meaningful conversations with our peers and family members. With that, we are joined with our four lovely guests who will join me in having this meaningful conversation about food. Without further ado, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Ricson. So I'm 118 BSIT. And I really like food.
Hello, my name is Jarrett Singian, ID 117 BSCS, and I really love not only eating but also cooking/baking food.
Hi. My name is Shimei. I'm ID 118, and I also really like the process of baking and seeing the creation of what. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Scott 119. BSCSST, and I love eating a lot of food and especially cooking.
Wow, imagine that we all share like different food experiences. Like some of us are foodies, some of us just like baking or cooking. So before we get started, so how are you guys naman? Like, how's your ACADS or personal life going on right now?
For me, I'm doing good naman so far since it's already the third or fourth, I don't know, or fourth term of doing an online class. But there are really times that it's going to be hard. But yeah, we have no choice naman but to keep on going. For personal life, nothing new. Same old, same me. Just me playing games, eating, and the cycle just repeat all the time.
For me, I guess in terms of ACADS right now, pretty good with what's happening right now in our thesis. We're about to start making our framework, and I think we're on schedule as of right now. And then for like personal life, I have started a sourdough starter, so I'm starting to bake already for that. I'll go into details later, maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
For me, I feel like even though we're in like for more than 1 year of online setting for academics, I'm still processing and like adjusting my habits to fit the online setting standards for like, I don't know, like studying and all that. So it's still a process where like I'm managing naman.
For me naman, I think I'm having a hard time sa ACADS, especially now na like 4 majors na kami every term. But somehow, nagagawa ko naman siya, and like I'm trying hard naman in order to pass all my subjects. And for my personal life, I think like I'm doing the same things every day. Like gigising, kakain, like games, ACADS, and paulit-ulit lang siya.
All right, that's nice. At least like we keep moving forward even despite this pandemic going on. And it's nice to hear that some of you are really doing well naman sa ACADS. And for sure, everyone is doing great naman and doing their best to keep moving forward. So let's, dig into the topic itself today. So I am also someone who really loves food. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to let go of a lot of food. So with that, for me, my favorite food would be pizza What about you guys? What would be your favorite food?
For actually, I don't really have a favorite food because like in terms of having a favorite food, it's like your everyday go-to, and like for me, I want variety. So yun. But if I have to like choose, actually I don't know. Like any pasta maybe would be good. Yeah.
Same, I love pasta.
For me naman, I think same kami ni Shimei. Like, I don't have like a personal favorite ng food, but siguro something new is like in dislike ko. Is I don't like yung munggo lang. Munggo. Somehow, di ko alam kung bakit ayoko siya. And for me, I rather eat something na iba kaysa sa munggo.
I also don't have a favorite food in mind, but I can call it my comfort food. So it's like something that I can eat any time of the day, even if I'm moody, if I'm happy, I'm sad, and it's anything that's cheesy. You name it, chicken with cheese, okay. Pork with cheese, okay. Ice cream with cheese, okay. So every food with cheese or flavored cheese would be really good for me. I really like cheesy foods.
Is there like a specific cheese that you really like in mind?
Nothing specific as long as it's cheesy for me. Because yeah, I don't have really a specific type of cheese in mind as long as it's cheesy naman.
Okay, that's respectable. What about you, Jarrett?
For me, I would say nowadays, because I've been having cravings a lot, I guess it's really like pasta and pizza right now, like the Italian stuff. Because I don't know, for me, it's just that especially when it comes to like the stress with ACADS, things like that, I just want something like a bit fattening, even though I know it's bad. I was just like, nah, I need to treat myself or I'll go insane. So like pizza. I would say like a margarita pizza, something like that. I've been trying to learn how to make margarita pizza nowadays, and I really enjoy the taste of it. It's very clean. And then other than that, for like pasta, maybe like a tuna pasta that is easily like I can whip up pretty quickly, like around 10 minutes, and I'm pretty happy at the end of the day if I get to eat those.
All right. It's good to know that we have like a variety of food that we like, and at the same time we kind of share like the same likings with like carbs, like pasta, pizza, and then maybe bread or something. So with the likes, obviously there are dislikes, and as what Scott mentioned, he doesn't like mongo, which is totally fine. We all have our dislikes. Like I also don't like, let's say, ampalaya. So what about you guys? What is something that parang you'd pass on, like you don't like to eat much?
I'll start. I guess I know. Even though my family really loves seafood, I don't really like it. Like any kind of seafood, fish, clam, oysters, I don't like the taste. Oh, especially, I'm so sorry, like salmon, like raw salmon. I don't like it.
Acceptable. I am accepting that.
No, like, I don't know, like, it's slimy texture, and then, like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it.
I get what you mean. I don't like sushi. That's
What?
I don't like sushi. It's just okay. I just don't like raw food. It's just so, it's like the texture or like the heat when you put it in your mouth. It's just cold, and then the vinegar taste from the rice. I'm not a fan of it.
Respectable.
Aww.
Respectable. I don't know. Because just one time I remember a friend of mine, like on their birthday, treated us to like a sushi place, and then I was like, okay, I'll probably eat something else in this restaurant. And then I felt sorry, but I just really don't like sushi. Oh, also I remember I was organizing this a birthday for like a crush of mine. For some reason, her mom like asked me to organize her 18th birthday or something like that, or whatever. And then originally the food was supposed to be pizza, so I'm like, yes, I'm happy, I can eat there. Turns out she said, oh, she was craving sushi that day, so it was sushi, and I didn't eat anything during the party.
Oh dear. Oh well. understandable. Well, but ano naman, like sina Ricson or Scott, like do you have any dislikes?
For me, it's not that I really don't like this food, but kaya I just went from home a whole day from school and I'm so tired and malalaman ko yung ulam nilaga, tinola, sinigang. And it
Oh,
really
so the
sets-
common ones.
yeah, the common ones na nakaka-set off lang ng mood, but I still eat it at the end of the day. Pero parang if nalaman kong ganun yung ulam and then pagod ako, parang mas lalo ako mapapagod. Pero I still eat it naman. Pero yun, I don't really like food na may sabaw. I don't know how to categorize those type of Filipino dishes. Pero yeah, ayun lang yung mga dislike ko.
I mean, like I would relate because like I kind of love like sinigang tinola, like the ones with sabaw, because you know it gives like it has veggies, so it's like my source of like health or something. But once it's like every week you have it, like right now, like since I live at home, that's the food
True.
every week. I just get so tired, and you just end up like craving so much for like, let's say, chicken. So yeah. It's not a
Yeah.
dislike, but it's something that you wish you had occasionally na lang.
Kasi
Super.
it would taste boring.
Compared to other Filipino dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but yeah. Go lang.
I feel like the soup-based food, especially with the meat, I always feel it a bit bland because the taste is really just the soup. So when after when you take a bite of the meat, it's like it loses its taste after a while since the soup base is removing out. So all you can taste is like this gray mush or something. That's for me.
Agree.
That's my example.
yeah,
like,
Exactly.
Agree.
okay.
But what about you, Scott? Do you agree, or do you have anything else?
I think somehow there's another food that I dislike. Not because like ayoko siyang kainin. It's because like it's hard to eat. Like yung shrimp. Somehow parang nahirapan ako kainin yung shrimp. Especially like hindi pa siya nababalatan. So it's hard to parang cut yung shrimp, then you remove the skin para lang makain mo siya.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yung mga like yung shrimp na like balat na like sa mga pancit malabon, like gusto ko naman siya kainin. But somehow lang parang I think may mga allergic reactions ako. But it's fine naman.
Yeah, I would relate because like we have shrimp rin at home, and then for me, I wouldn't eat it kaagad because I know the tedious process of just removing the skin just to eat it. Like it takes longer to remove everything than to eat it.
Yeah, you can eat it in just 1 second or something.
I can't relate. I'm allergic to shrimp.
Oh, that's okay.
But if it's
Is he-
tempura, ibang usapan na siya. Kasi you just eat it.
Yeah. Pero what do you think? Do you think Jarrett's missing out when it comes to shrimp? I'm okay with it.
I feel like you're not really missing out on
Not
much.
that much, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my dad actually asked me, okay, you can try this shrimp for once. I'm like, okay, for once I'll try the shrimp. I tasted it. It just tastes like butter. It's like buttery meat or something. There's like this smooth taste to it. But I'm like, I don't see the hype with the shrimp. I don't know about other. I'm allergic to shellfish in general, so I've never tasted like crab or lobster and stuff like that. So I have no reference point of why it's very like highly priced as meat in that case.
I was allergic dati, like to shrimp. I'm not sure what happened, but I kind of just grew out of it. Kasi like in our family, we, especially like for example like birthdays, parang we always have shrimp, like yung boiled shrimp ba yun? So, yun, parang even though I'm allergic, I am still eating it kasi kailangan. I don't know why. Yun. So, parang I kind of just grew out of it.
That's cool. I mean, that happened to my dad, but then for some reason it went back. Like he became allergic to shrimp again.
Oh no.
But yeah, that's weird. I don't know how that works. But yeah, let's just go into so we have our likes or dislikes, and of course there are some foods na we want to suggest to one another, diba? So I would recommend, what's something that I want to recommend? Hala. I don't know. I still want to recommend chicken, but then it's like a common Taft food na. Oh, spoiler. But what about you guys? Do you guys recommend anything that people should try and parang not super popular in?
To be honest, if I like if a person would ask me for recommendation, I would always recommend like food, like yung sweets, kasi I have a really sweet tooth, so most probably like a dessert, maybe like I don't know, like crepe.
Oh, that's a nice dessert. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess with crepe rin, we can like you can make it savory rin.
Oh my God, naalala ko tuloy yung crepe man. Mamaya na natin yung pag-usapan.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, parang before crepe man, I would only have crepe kapag buffets because it's not that common in malls. I don't know, for me. Yeah. What about the rest naman? Do you guys have any recommendations?
I don't have anything to recommend since most of my favorite food naman are, I can say, quite normal for a normal person. So yeah, I don't have anything.
Okay, that's fine. What about the rest naman?
Can I recommend something that's popular but I don't know if people haven't tried it, I really want them to try it.
Sige, go lang.
Mendocoro ramen.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
like that is like the best ramen in the Philippines for sure. Like there's no other ramen.
I don't think I have tried that.
You should go to South.
I haven't been to South.
I think they have a branch in BGC ba? Or
Yeah, there is.
Makati.
They have also BGC
It's worth
area.
every peso. Like, I even went to Ichiran. You know Ichiran ramen, right? Like sa Hong Kong. Although Hong Kong lang, kasi hindi pa ako napag-Japan. Pero yun, like authentic Japanese ramen restaurant na siya. Pero mas trip ko pa rin yung Mendo ramen for some reason because it's more creamier, I can say.
It's more rich in its broth.
Yeah, it's
I have no
more
idea
rich.
how they do it.
Yeah,
It's like milk-ish in a way, but it's just so rich. I can like describe it, and then it's like the meat, the chashu that's inside the ramen is so good.
Oh
Like,
yeah, the chasu, especially the secret recipe, super chasu.
Okay, I was just gonna say that as a South person, I haven't even tried that. It's so sad. I think I was supposed to try it before COVID happened, but COVID happened. So, yeah. I mean, I've tried ramen as well. Like, the ones, like the normal, like, what's the brand again?
Yeah,
The one that sells the Butao King?
Kuroda.
Ramen Nagi. Ramen
Ayan,
Nagi and
yan,
Ramen
yan.
Kuroda. Those are the two that I've tried pa lang. So Mendocoro would be the next one. Before I
Yes.
thought Mendocoro was Mendoroco. I thought. I'm blind. I can't see much. Just kidding. What Scott? Do you have any recommendations?
Actually, I have tried it once pa lang. Like, I made this once. And napanood ko lang siya like sa isang YouTube channel. I tried like milky ramen. Like yung ramen, lulutuin mo siya, then you will add like milk and cheese para somehow maging cheesy yung ramen.
I think I saw that on TikTok.
is it like a carbonara style of ramen?
Yeah, somehow same. But may yung spiciness is still there. Kaya super sarap niya.
I'm getting cravings. Honestly, I'm getting cravings. I don't know. It's the same for you guys. But yeah, I mean, food is so diverse, and we just all love food, right? Appreciate the food and how it gives us comfort. So let's go to like the next topic, which is being Lasallians, diba? We would eat around the campus, and we would eat during breaks, before classes, and of course all of us misses na that feeling of getting food with our peers, diba? So with that, ano nami-miss nyo na sa Taft, and what makes you miss the food sa Taft?
For me, I think yung super na-miss ko sa Taft is yung McDonald's. Kasi somehow, for every midterms or finals week, we will stay there until mga 3 a.m., 4 a.m. studying. So like mag-order lang kami like 2 BFF rice, burgers, and Mac floats. Then mag-aaral lang kami until like mga 4 a.m. But for me, yung personal favorite ko sa Taft is yung Kanto Freestyle. Like super sarap na honey garlic chicken nila.
I was supposed to say Kanto freestyle.
Yeah.
Garlic chicken. Oh my God.
Pati yung New Zealand beef tapa. Like ayun yung favorite ko sa Kanto Freestyle. Like every time kami pupunta doon, yun lang lagi ino-order ko.
Kanto freestyle. I miss you so much. Yeah, for me it's Kanto freestyle then. Even though it's like 5 to 10 minutes walk of worth from Gok's building, we will travel to just to eat there, especially yung honey garlic chicken, the sauce. Oh my God. Oh, nakikrave ako ngayon. Too bad.
That's true.
I'm not sure if may delivery na sila hanggang south. Pero ayun, ayun yung pinaka nami-miss ko talaga sa Taft. Oh.
Sana pagbalik nandun pa rin.
I think it's open na ata no nag-GC.
Oh, really?
I saw someone eating there na. Yeah.
Oh.
Malakas pa rin naman sila.
I visited Taft months ago. Yeah, it's open naman. Yeah.
Good
That's
to
so
know.
nice. I guess like in terms of CCS, diba? Since lagi tayo nasa ag, no? Parang a go-to of mine would be Good Munch for like a savory, like for lunch. Tapos usually like for sweets, I like ano yun? Yung sa local. Yung smoothie thing.
I forgot na rin the name.
Bold,
Pero naalala ko yun.
yun.
Bold.
Yeah, kasi parang, alam mo yung it's big enough na you would get full, especially as a snack. Pero, like, you can still share it with your friends.
Okay, what about Jarrett naman? Yeah.
For me, it's call me basic, but I just love when we're in Taft, you can go to Starbucks easily because it was just right there beside us. It's the easiest to go there just to get some, like, for example, coffee or like dessert or something like that. And then also, I guess another one would be also Dairy Queen. I've been craving for Dairy Queen for so long already. Like, I actually have been having dreams about it for like for this quarantine period. Like, I remember like going to a mall just to look for like a DQ there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't find it. Then I found. Then every time the dream ends, I never got into eat the ice.
Actually, yeah. I remember tuloy, the one in Dairy Queen, there would always be like promos. Then there was gonna be a long line.
Buy one, take one.
I kind of forgot about that.
Oh yeah, yung 1 peso for the next order of DQ.
Blizzard. Yeah, so like that.
Yung line na abot ng Hendy Grounds minsan, dati kahit late na kami, napila pa rin kami just to get that promo.
I was gonna say also not just that, but also like during the bazaars when the foods come in. That's where I really miss that.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Deep fried watermelon.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Deep fried
You know, sometimes
watermelon.
if like the stall isn't there, if like the deep fried watermelon store isn't there, I usually go to Kanto for Wicked Oreos, which is like which is overpriced. But you know, if I crave the fried stuff, can't help it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Other than that, I would say like the shawarma that they usually have during the bazaars there. There's, like the shawarma that's like near to Belomen, that area.
If we're going to talk about shawarma, do you know Babe Mike's shawarma? The one near Binild?
I'm not
No?
so familiar.
what?
Is that a recommendation?
Yeah, it's one of the best shawarma in Taft for only 50 pesos. Lagi siya nagte-trend online. So it's yung serving sobrang dami. Tapos yung sauce din, ikaw bahala kung gaano karami sauce, and yung the rice. Ooh, it's so perfect. Ayun, isa pa namin pinupuntahan ng mga friends ko kahit sobrang layo. Like 15 minutes walk na ata siya. Pero ngayon, before kasi, like, they just have their own cart. But now they have a stand near the mall, near nakalimutan ko na yung, is that our plaza or something? Basta they have their own stand na. Super highly recommended Taft food for only 50 pesos. Ayun yung pinaka worth it na 50 pesos sa Taft na makukuha mo.
Grabe, I hope when I get back to Taft, it's there pa. Kasi I can't. I don't remember seeing it. Or
Yeah,
something.
it's hidden kasi hindi talaga siya sa DLSU side. So it's more on CSB side. So dinadayo talaga siya ng mga taga-Lasal.
Di ba, Ricson, yan ba yung shawarma na nasa styro?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why hindi siya like super well known sa like among DLSU students rin, I guess. Kasi there was a school bawal yung siren, all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly we eat it dine-in na lang eh. Like nakatayo lang kami dun sa stand and haba ng pila. Good times.
Yeah. So like I like how like Ricson mentioned na parang at least for 50 pesos you get this really good shawarma. Let's talk about the price range. Honestly, that's one of like the issues around campus. Like it's either a good price or it's overpriced. So what's your take naman? Do you think the price of these foods are like worth it naman? Like is it worth their price?
For me, I think worth it naman yung mga prices sa Taft. But somehow merong mga overpriced talaga na food. But yung I think if ever na like budget ako or nagsisave ako ng money, like I'll go for Ate Rica's, like a baksilog lang. Tapos sometimes sa order ako dalawa, then akit ako sa may like sa Nook or sa second floor, then dun kami kakain ni Allen or ng other friends ko.
Yeah, mostly naman food around Taft is worth the price, although some may be more expensive, but you get what you pay for. For example, let's say 24 chicken, it's like 115 for 3 boneless chicken. Pero those 3 boneless chickens, malalaki na yung part. Although, before, during my frosh year, my favorite resto or fast food in Taft is, do you know EBC? Everything but cheese. During my first year,
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
ang cheap lang nila, like 115, 2 pieces of chicken na, tas different flavor. My favorite flavor is cheesy bacon, as you know, cheesy yung favorite ko. I don't know why, nung nag-second year ako, nagmahal sila. Like, yung 2 pieces of chicken is naging 160 or 170 na from 115. Even yung cheese fondue nila, nag 500 na ata from 300. So, ayun, medyo naging overpriced na siya. Kasi before, sobrang sulit niya talaga. Like, my group of friends, doon kami lagi nakain pag puno na iba kasi sobrang sulit niya talaga for its price.
I would actually relate to that because like I've been in Taft for like so long na. As in like senior high pa. So I witnessed like the starting point. Is that what you call it? Like starting point of like Topside. You guys know Topside? So that everything was so affordable pa nun, like less than 100, I think. Then may drink na yun and everything. But then, yeah, as they like, upgraded and everything, now like 100 is like their one-piece chicken meal. I might be wrong. Let's just check the poster na lang later. Pero, yeah. It's so sad how like it gotten overpriced. But then, I'm happy for their businesses there. At least it's booming. What about you guys?
For me, in terms of price range, I think a lot of the foods are ranging from like 100 to 150, like for like a full meal siya. I mean, how do you like a full meal, like yung may rice and like protein and all that ganun. Usually naman for like yung mga cheaper stuff, like 70 plus, 80 plus, may mga options rin naman, especially like with Agno rin.
So with all like the food na we talked about in Taft, so let's say na parang we get back to campus, or let's say we're gonna go back to Taft. What do you think is the first thing you guys feel like eating kaagad? Ako, siguro, being like a condo person, if there was one go-to of mine pala talaga, which I forgot to mention, it would be the cheesy instant noodles dun sa Mina. I forgot the name. Cheese boki. Yeah, I know it's
What's that?
fattening, but
I
I miss
I
that.
love that.
I don't
Ano
think.
yun?
Wait.
Hindi ko alam. It's cheesy, so I need...
It's very cheesy, pero I feel like it's bland for some. Pero I really like it, and I feel like that's the reason why I got like fatter pa. So once I
You should try
discovered
that. If
it,
it's possible, bumalik tayo sa Taft. You show me the way.
sige. What about you guys? Ano pa yung parang if you guys go back to Taft, what would be the first thing you guys will buy?
I would really buy Kanto Freestyle honey garlic chicken. Like kahit two orders bibiling ko just to eat that piece of chicken. Yun talaga.
For me naman, I think yung first thing that I'll buy sa Taft is like yung melona and mga Korean ramen.
Oh my god.
Kasi super dami Korean stores sa staff. So sometimes on the way sa dorm ko, which is somehow far from the LSU, like nadadaanan akong Korean store. So every time mag-order ako ng 2 or 3 melona, nilalagay ko lang sa freezer ng dorm. Tapos kakainin ko lang siya for habang nagre-review.
Ganyan din ako.
Just like the Melona thing, I really miss the basically the Korean the shop there, because there's like stuff that you can't normally get there. One is the Melona ice cream, and then the other one is like I know it's super, that milk soda thing that they had there.
I know they have sodas. Like there's a Chupa Chups soda, pero I don't know the milk one.
The Chupa Chupa is sweet, but the milk one is so weird because it's like Sprite, but it's milky in a way. I can't describe. That's the best way I can describe it in that way.
For me, I guess in terms of like inside campus, kasi I feel like dun sa outside, kung gusto ko talaga, I can always go back. In terms of like yung inside campus, maybe like yung Colonel's curry chicken thing in Bloemen. Yeah, it's a good comfort food rin.
I like how before Colonel's was like for bazaars lang, then it ended up talaga as an actual stall.
Yeah,
it's a good glow up.
It became like a staple na, diba?
What was your favorite flavor there?
I would always get Tama ba? Japanese? Was there a Japanese?
Japanese din for me. Yeah, Japanese curry.
I used to go for the Japanese before, and then over time I tried the laksa, and that became my favorite already after a while.
Actually, speaking of Bloemen, do you know chicken thighs? Ayun ba name nun? It's like one of the newest stall there in Bloemen. It's like different flavors ng chicken fillet, but all of the fillet part are thigh part, so like boneless chicken thigh. So ayun yung best part ng chicken for me, tapos gagawin pang fillet, tapos yung flavor nila iba-iba, like honey garlic, teriyaki and stuff. Like hindi yung one of the araw-araw namin kinakain from Bloemen, tapos sobrang accessible kasi from Gox. So yeah.
Yun ba yung like by 2 p.m. I think.
Thick thighs.
Yeah.
Thick thighs.
Yun,
Pala. Yeah, thick
diba?
thighs.
Like by 2 p.m. parang they're sold out.
Yeah.
Super.
I was
Lagi
gonna
silang
say
sold
nga,
out.
I think I only tried that twice because every time I go to the booth, wala na. It's like closed na. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kaya hindi ko masyadong sinulit yung parang, they're that, pala, in demand.
The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised.
So let's just segue na to the next section. So yes, while we miss staff, sadly because of the pandemic happening right now, we all have been staying mostly at home, and we've been learning, new things and hobbies. So since we're talking about food, we're gonna talk about baking and cooking. So were any of you like did any of you guys develop that hobby now that in this pandemic?
Me.
Go Ricson.
So me and my sister got into baking, especially during March, April, so first part of the quarantine. So the first thing that we baked was cookies, since ayun yung one of the basic baking essentials, and yung ingredients are like madali lang din mahanap. So from that, nagtuloy-tuloy siya. So like we search for recipes of different pastries or bread that we want. So currently, my favorite na binibake namin is cheesecake. Kasi sobrang favorite ko rin ng cheesecake. So, different flavors like blueberry, mango, caramel, or cookies and cream. So, sobrang saya lang and ang peaceful na ikaw mismo yung gumagawa ng food mo. Even though you're going to spend like more than 2 hours to bake it, tapos less than 15 minutes, ubos na agad yung binake niya. Pero, ayun, iba yung feeling na ikaw yung gumawa ng food mo rather than just ordering it somewhere and then eat it with your family. So yun, ang saya lang. So parang siya yung naging motivation ko to go through the week, especially last year. Parang ginagawa kasi namin every week may target kaming i-bake. So for example, this week we're going to bake cookies, and then next week brownies, next week cheesecake, next week red velvet cake. So something like that. It's naging hobby namin siya, in parang tradition for that entire quarantine until March, until August or September. So yun, sobrang dami namin na bake, and until the day na lahat na bake na namin, hindi na kami masyado nakapag-bake regularly. Pero now naman, nag-bake pa rin kami paminsan-minsan. Like, for example, we're craving for cookies. We're going to bake it next weekend, so something like that. Ang saya lang talaga na ikaw mismo yung gumagawa ng food mo.
That's so cute.
How about you naman, Shimei? How's your hobby naman?
I guess like before pandemic pa lang, I think Ricson can attest to that, diba? I have been baking and I have been sharing like
Lagi ako nahingi kay Shimei.
yeah, like I've been sharing my food. Usually I bake sweets. Like this pandemic, parang it made me parang try like other recipes na parang pero baking pa rin. Kasi to be honest, like me cooking with like like open fire, like sa stove, it doesn't really go well usually. So yeah, like sa baking, I've been baking a lot of sweets, and then usually like lahat ng mga savings ko napupunta sa mga ingredients. So this pandemic, like especially sa family namin for like birthdays, we don't buy cakes anymore. So like parang ako yung nagiging designated baker. Tapos like it's really fun, like in terms of like yung baking the cake, seeing them rise, and then like creating the filling, and then I mean like you have the creative control to like design the cake however you want. And then usually like I always go over the top, like it's fun. It's really like parang stress reliever siya, especially like for ACADS, ganun. And then stress reliever yung process, and then like afterwards yung output mo, it's like a beautiful cake, and then you get to eat it. Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I would see your stories and I'm like, I'm so proud of Shimei, but I'm craving.
Actually, natanda ko nga na parang during last year din, every time na I see Shimei's stories, minsan nag-reply, hey Shimei, kamusta to? Madali lang pagawin. And then pag sinabi, oh yeah, it's easy lang. And then I'm going to recommend it to my sister. Kasi sister ko, since may work siya yung supplier ng ingredients namin. So ako yung taga-search ng ingredient, ako yung taga-gawa. Tapos yung sister ko yung supplier. And then ayun, basta naging interaction namin Shimei dati lagi about baking. So nagtatanong ko if ano yung recipe and stuff like that. It's nice talaga.
I remember with macaron.
Yeah, that one.
Diba? Yeah.
Tinry namin kasi nag-fail kami. Pero masarap naman. What's important is masarap, not the itsura.
Yeah.
For me, I guess would be that because I started cooking around like January plus, because around that time I was already doing OJT, so we couldn't go to Taft anymore to buy the foods. So a lot of the foods that I was craving for, I wasn't able to get. So around that time I decided like, I should start cooking already. So I started cooking. Like the first ones was like stuff from coffee bean. So I made like the chai tea latte thing at home, so I don't have to go there anymore because it's so expensive. And then afterwards bagels. And then afterwards it became all for the first few times I started cooking. It was all just foods I miss in Taft. So like that, and then bibimbap, which was for me a bit overpriced in Taft. It's too expensive, and then the meat was so little there. And then finally now I started already cooking, so pasta, meatballs, stuff like that. And then my biggest passion right now is really bread, because I just love the craftsmanship when it comes to bread itself. Since it's so hard to handle it's like it takes some techniques to cook, to bake. Especially like the wetter the dough is, the harder it is. But then it's so rewarding seeing your bread make. So like a few days ago, like Sunday, I already started my attempt at sourdough bread. So the entire day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was mixing the dough, putting the starter, and then shaping, and then Monday morning 5 a.m. before class, I woke up just to bake the bread, and I felt it was so worth it at the end, because this was my third try in making sourdough bread, and this is finally like the moment it led up to like, oh my gosh, I finally got it ready. Like, it's already there and it's, I think, the most beautiful bread I've made in a while.
Congrats then. Yeah. Let's take the bread you sent in the group chat.
No, that's the baguettes I made before. I made another one this week. I'll send it to you guys. It's very pretty. But
Okay. This is a commercial break, okay? I just got so curious. I was like, is that the bread?
yeah,
Sorry.
I want to ask the people who like cook. How do you feel about the cleanup?
Oh yeah, that's one of the most hassle part in when it comes to cooking. Like besides sa pag-wash ng dishes, yung mismong countertop is really oily. Kasi aside from baking, I also cook a lot recently. So yun, sobrang I don't know, it's hassle for me to clean the oil part.
Yeah. I guess I don't know why, but the cleanup like feels like forever. Parang after you clean up, parang there's still something that needs to be cleaned, and then like it goes on and on to like Pero I'm sa amin we have parang sila ate where like they would help me with like clean up. So that's good.
Having this entire day was just me cleaning up the kitchen.
Oh my
Because the dough was like flying everywhere. There's like flour on the floor, there's flour on the countertop, and then flour on the fridge, and it's just all over. And I think I have to clean up tomorrow again just to fix the bread.
I feel like sourdough bread is like the most complicated and like the most tiring one to make. I don't know how long did you need the dough?
It takes me, I don't know, like 20 minutes in total. But then I have like two parts. Like I do first kneading and then second kneading afterwards. The issue is not really the sourdough itself, but it's really the hydration percentage of your dough that makes it the hardest. So for example, bagels, they're around 60% hydration only. So it's actually easy to handle. And you don't have to do the slap and fold method for that. You just have to do it like a regular style. But then once you go to like the 75 range already, that's like around the percentage for my focaccia. And then I find it super hard because, it's like it doesn't get stiff when it gets done.
Yeah. And it's diba like it always sticks to your fingers.
Yes. That, and also once when you're like slapping it onto the counter, there you got like flying dough everywhere somewhere in the room, either on the floor or somewhere on the table and stuff like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I think the process of making bread is actually pretty unique talaga. What about Scott? Did you like cook during this pandemic?
I started cooking ulit this quarantine lang. Tapos, I think yung last time na nag-cook was like in January, New Year's. So naghanda kami, and I think I cooked yung carbonara. I think that was the first time I cooked carbonara. So tinuruan pa ako na mom kung paano gawin yung noodles. I mean like, paano haluin and kung gaano katagal siya like isi-sears and stuff.
It's like a bonding moment.
Yeah, kaya super fun. So somehow like, kasi I watch like mga Korean street food sa YouTube, and somehow yung like cooking process, tapos somehow it's like super cool ng pagluto nilang chicken and tteokbokki. So parang gusto ko siya i-try somewhere in the future. Like gusto ko gumawa ng honey chicken garlic soon.
You should try it. Highly recommended.
Kasi
Recipe.
Rooting for you.
may friend rin ako like na nagkukook. So minsan humihi kami like mga advice kung paano, and like mga ingredients and like process ng pagluto. So nag-send siya sa Discord ng mga like buong list, like super habang list ng ingredients and yung pag-process and kung ano gagawin namin.
Yes. So yeah, tuloy niyo lang yung mga hobbies niyo, guys. Ako, naalala ko. Like at the start of the pandemic, we all witnessed how dalgona coffee was like a trend, right?
Actually.
So I didn't have the right ingredients in the first. I mean, I think I did, but I was the type of person who gets so impatient. So I never saw my dalgona like foam up. And after that, I just gave up. But what did occur to me in the pandemic and during this quarantine, and like I think all of us naman, is talagang cravings, right? Or the drive, or if there's cravings, it's also the drive to eat healthier naman. So kayo, did you guys adjust like your food intake? Do you think it got better? Do you think it got worse? How was it for you guys?
The first
Wait, sige, I can
Yes.
start. Sige, I'll start lang. So, I think at the first earlier months, I was like the type of person na since I'm at home again, and then I would just like buy food based on my like the budget of the family, whatever. So I just eat again and again. Then I realized na parang I gained more pa. Like same lang like in gaining Taft food weight. So there's a month yata, like before 2020 ended. I was like, sige, let me try to reduce some food na. So yeah, and right now, right, for me, it's like a balance between like battling the cravings and like trying to eat healthier. So it's trying to meet there in the middle. So right now, I think I'm doing fine. But I did really get a lot of cravings, especially syempre, like being a Taft person, I miss Taft food, right? So I'd crave for like, let's say, chicken or fries. So yeah. What about you guys?
Ako, yung earlier part ng quarantine, I was really conscious on what I ate. Sabi ko kasi, we're going to have at least 1 month of vacation. Maybe it's time for me to change the way I eat and my body. So, like, nag-exercise pa ako in that and all. Tapos, nung nag-extend na yung quarantine, parang there's no end to this pandemic. Parang useless lang. So, parang nangyari is, naging stress eating na. So, parang from healthy eating and exercise to stress eating and I just eat whatever I crave for. So parang yun yung naging nangyari sa akin. Pero this year naman, medyo nagiging balance na siya compared to last year. Kasi syempre, kailangan pa rin maging conscious to what we eat because especially during now, na kailangan priority talaga natin yung health natin.
Yeah, I agree. Kasi for me naman, like in terms of yung consumption ko, since nasa bahay nga, and then alam mo yung if ever you're in an online class or nag-study ka, parang you'll tend to grab something to munch on. Yun. So parang I think with the online class and then yung syempre like yung parents mo, they want you to eat healthy. Parang like you get to eat a lot more at home versus like yung alam mo yung like you have to go out during face-to-face to meet you with your friends and then parang magde-decide pa kayo ng food. Tapos, I guess, like, yung walking and all that, parang, I guess that's a factor yun. Parang there's less movement from me. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
For me naman, I think similar yung sa akin to Ricson and Shimei. Like, before like quarantine started, like super nagda-diet ako. Like I eat lang like twice a day. Then after 2 months, like super dumadami ni intake ko. Like it is increasing because somehow like nagiging stress ako lalo, especially during quarantine, just online classes. But somehow like parang for the past 2 months, I think I've been like following 16 hours fasting. So, 16 hours fasting, then 8 hours lang ako kumakain during the day. Like, yeah. Then I wake up kasi ng mga 12 na. So, it's late na. I can't eat breakfast na. So, brunch na yung kinakain ko. Then, yung last meal ko is like dinner. Then, after that, tulog na agad ako.
Ganyan rin ako. Yeah. Actually, yung sa akin, parang wake up at 10, eat at 12, then ends eating at 6. Pero minsan, if like talagang I need fuel, talagang I make it until 8 p.m.
So yeah, kinakaya naman.
Sometimes may midnight snack pa ako. Like, gumagawa pa ako ng sandwich para makakain ulit ako.
Yeah. How about you, Jarrett?
For me, I gained a lot during the quarantine. Mostly because I was learning how to make handmade pasta. So like the pasta itself was made from the flour and eggs and stuff like that. And then I got so addicted. But then I realized, oh shoot, I'm really gaining weight. So especially well nowadays, what I'm doing is similar to what Scott's doing, IF. But now what I'm doing is just one meal a day for me, because for me what killed me the most was the cravings itself. That like if you since this the like the double-edged sword when it comes to cooking is that you actually know how to cook your food now, so you can actually fulfill your cravings. That's been my issue during this quarantine. So now what I do is that during that one window of that one eating window, I just eat whatever I really want to eat, and then afterwards I'm good for the entire day. So it doesn't like affect me. And right now I'm getting healthier now. I don't have that much cravings also, and weight is getting there again. I'm losing weight again. So yeah, that's basically mine right now.
That's good. That's good to hear. Moving on, like to the next. So for about a year or more than a year now, we've been eating lang at our houses, which is of course another way to bond with the family, diba? Pero syempre before we had lunch with our friends, ganon. So I want to know, when you interact with friends, do you guys like have lunch parent together, like let's say through Discord, or what kinds of online interactions do you still have? That I don't know. Do you guys bring food when you guys hang out? You know.
For me and my friends naman, like my OG high school friends, since most of them are really busy kasi engineering from different universities. So when it comes to bonding to food, what we just do is like every time we're going to eat something na bago, or like we're going to eat a food na reminds us ng mga pinagsamahan namin before, we just send it to our group chat and then talk about the times na, oh yeah, tanda ko yung mga banding natin na binibili tayo ng ganyan, naghihintay tayo kahit mahaba pila just to eat our favorite food during our high school days. So ayun yung naging main bonding namin. So like parang every time na we're going to eat food na that reminds us of the past, we send it to the group chat and then reminisce and tell each other stories na mas makakapagpaalala sa amin nung past and make us miss more ng outside world.
That's so cute. Aww. I guess sa akin na lang I'll share. For example, ever since, diba, I've been parang posting yung what I've been baking and all that like sa Instagram ko. I guess opened a way for my other friends na hindi ko ganun like nakakausap masyado, especially like mga high school friends, to like DM, and then we'll talk about food and all that. So nakaka-miss yun. And then I guess another thing, yung sharing of like the science of food. Like for example, diba, since I've been baking a lot of sweets, and then usually parang for sweets, parang you have the creative liberty to design it however shape or form that you want it to be. And there's a lot of like interpretations or like designs that you can do on like desserts like macarons and like cakes. So, for example, like Bianca would send me like yung mga like macarons in the shape of milk tea, and then nagsasabi siya na parang it reminds her of me kasi like for face to face, diba, usually you don't really see me without milk tea. So ayun, like
yes.
Napapa-milk tea ako dahil sa'yo eh.
Yeah, I'm a good influence. Don't worry. Ayun, so parang, yeah, it makes, like, a lot of food makes me remember yung mga face-to-face events ba, or like yung mga memories that happened in Taft, and yeah.
For me naman, I think like ever since nag-start yung quarantine, never pa ako like nakalabas ng house. So super sad. But yung kasama, sometimes like with my OG high school friends, if ever na my birthday, like magpapada sila ng food sa house, then sabay-sabay kaming kakain through Discord. So like ayun yung hangout namin. And sometimes naman, like if ever na, kunya, like about, napag-usapan namin about yung cooking or about food, like some people will send like sa GC namin like ng mga food na gusto nila kainin or like mga cravings nila.
For me, funny enough, most of my friends got into cooking also during the quarantine. So same as everyone with like high school friends. I have this one high school friend. She's like the god of cooking among us because not only does she cook, she bakes, but she also ferments stuff. She makes kimchi. She makes her own ginger. We call it ginger bug, like how to make the ginger beer, ginger ale stuff. She knows to do that, and then I think she's doing sauerkraut, and also sourdough. So I really like look up to her in terms of like cooking, and then later on, rest of our GC with our high school friends, we started cooking. So one of the things that happened was that one day we all decided to cook the same food together. Then we'll show each other what was our output. So I gave them my garlic herbal focaccia. So they all did it, and I'm like, it was such a fun moment seeing everyone's like progress in it. So yeah. Other than that, also with some of my thesis mates, they started cooking like pizza, then cookies also, and then spontaneously, one of my friends for Christmas went to our place to like deliver some fresh baked cookies, and I got so pissed with him that he didn't like tell me earlier that I had to make the focaccia for him and to give it to my other thesis mate. The stupidest part though was that I forgot to put salt in the bread. So it wasn't that good, and I was so pissed at myself. But yeah, that's what so far with like the socializing with my friends.
Yeah, I think in making food, it's the thought that matters sometimes, you know? At least, you know, food brings us together. I'm someone who... Then everyone will have like a shared moment where they're like, you can do better next time. I'm just kidding. But yeah, at least there's an attempt, right? Well, I'm someone who hasn't like delved in much into cooking because I have other things to do. Pero if there's like one thing that I remember on like the pakikisama because of food, it would really be like, so I have like this big clan, like family clan, and it was the first time last year, 2020, that our Christmas wasn't like as grand. So what happened is each family was like taking a picture of like their handaan. And wala, parang even though we're like distant from one another, we can still feel one another's like Christmas spirit in a way. So yeah, that was nice because like the food that we all had was like similar to what we usually have for Christmas. And the same goes with friends. Like we take a picture of like, let's say, milk tea or Starbucks, and we remember how, let's say for me, how addicted I am to Starbucks, ganon. So yeah. So with that, we're actually about to end the podcast. So is there like a message that you guys want to give to the listeners? Like, do you recommend more food, or like what should they see? How should they value their food? Anything would go. It's just like a closing remark.
For me naman, it's to those who are picky eaters. So parang, I would really suggest for you guys to go out and explore more food because you're missing a lot. Like, food is life. So, at least give it a try before you hate eating a food.
I feel like you're talking to me.
I was gonna say the same thing because I'm selective.
Yeah.
I'm selective.
Ako
Right?
personally, wala akong hate na food. Like, meron mga like least favorite, pero like I eat everything naman talaga. So yeah, at least try it at least once before you hate it.
Wait, just segue lang. I think that was like one of my mistakes in Taft as well. Like no matter like how surrounded I am sa Taft, there are some stalls na I opt not to try talaga because I don't know, I fear yung parang if it's super cheap, it's skeptical. You know, like I shouldn't think like that. Ayan tuloy, hindi ko tuloy nasulit
Dapat
yung...
pala tinry mo before pandemic kasi especially now if everyone mag face-to-face tayo, mas lalo ka maging skeptical sa mga food.
Oh no, that's just, you know, I can't rewind time anymore. So let's see na lang once we get back. So how about the rest naman?
I think for me, when it comes to like cooking or baking, I think like you should give it a try because I think it's a really good like life experience to like know how to cook, especially when you go older. Like when you're working and then ever like you live alone. I think it's such. It brings you joy that you know that you can get the foods that you want, and also you can make food to please others. Try to build friendships with that, and I think that's important when it comes to food.
For me naman, I think I'll recommend eating well, and especially like have a balanced diet, especially during the quarantine, since parang yung energy that you will parang gather for the food is so very essential for your day.
Agree. My final message, wag naman last, to the listeners, most probably, don't be scared to start baking or cooking. Like, if you've been watching like YouTube videos or like Instagram posts or like stories of your friends or other like influencers, and like you've been eyeing to try it, I suggest go trying like right now na. Kasi there's no better way to improve your cooking skill or like your baking skill or like I guess like feeding your soul than to like to actually go through the process of baking or cooking and then seeing your outcome. Like even if your outcome is not that good, it's gonna be okay. Kasi like everyone will get to practice rin and then see your growth in terms of your skills.
Those are all really good messages. And I like how diverse it was, right? Like, don't be a picky eater, start cooking, and at the same time, like, control your cravings, but still try to enjoy your food. So that was really nice. I really learned a lot from our speakers today. And I hope the listeners got to learn too. And with that closes our podcast for this episode's podcast. And thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
The views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization, the university, and its stakeholders. Viewer discretion is advised.